Hi guys, welcome to another tips, tricks and combos video. Today we're going to go through the combos in the new Warzone Charadon book and have a look how we can make some cool knights. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell in the corner so you know each time we release one of these videos. So what I did is I went into the Charadon book and, there's some cool new things in there and knights have got some tasty things. And the main deal that was made about knights in the Charadon book was going to be that House Raven. We're going to get some cool new things to try out. But Free Blades also got some stuff, and I wasn't aware that was going to be in there. But when I started reading into it, I actually think it's, in my opinion, cooler than the Raven stuff. So I've made two knights, one Raven knight and one Free Blade knight, and I'm just going to walk you through how I think how I think you should tool them up if you're going to take them. So first of all, we've got Raven, and House Raven, they've got a cool new Warlord trait. It is amazing in my opinion in the current meta, and that's called Lord of the Trials. So each time an attack is made by the Warlord and you roll an unmodified hit roll of a 6, it automatically wounds a target. No wound roll needs to be made. Now you might be thinking, well, quite a lot of his guns are going to be like strength 8, 9 plus, something like that. But you got to remember, in the current meta, there are a lot of armies out there that have got like a transhuman style ability or a -1 to wound on them. So any chance of bypassing the wound roll and just automatically inflicting damage on your opponent that they've got to, make saves for is incredible. And Lord of the Trials, the key thing about it is it doesn't affect one weapon. So when I first read it, I was like, oh, that's not great. It's going to make one weapon do this. And then I read it properly and I was like, oh, it's just hit rolls made for the knight. So it's on everything. If it's a Crusader would absolutely love this. They could have a Gatling cannon and a battle cannon, and then you could have a top hatch on them, heavy stubbers. You could have so many guns on them, and every single one that rolls a 6 to hit automatically wounds. So when you've got a gunboat like that, a Castellan or a Crusader, they're really going to like having that Warlord trait. And if you take that Warlord trait, the combo comes in is with the relics, because it doesn't say when you roll a hit roll of a 6, excluding relics. It's on everything that the knight has. So you could combo it with Endless Fury, and Endless Fury is, of course, a 14-shot Gatling cannon. And one thing to bear in mind, though, if you roll a 6 to hit with Endless Fury, you do get an additional hit. Now, the additional hit does not count as a 6 anymore, I believe, in the new FAQs. So you wouldn't get, if you rolled a 6, you wouldn't get 2 auto wounds. If you rolled a 6, 1 would auto wound, and you'd also get an additional hit. So it'd be amazing. It'd be like doing extra wounds on top of rolling for wounds as well. So that's really cool. And the other thing you can do with it is you can put Relentless Wrath on it, which is the new relic in the book for House Raven, and it's 2d6 shots like a normal battle cannon, but it's strength 8, -2, and flat 3 damage. Now, the reason why you'd want to put that on this Lord of Trials is quite a lot of the new stuff in the game that have got -1 to wound mechanics, like Scorpec Destroyers and the like, and have also got transhuman style abilities like Deathwing Knights and all of their family in Space Marines. All of them, well, most of them, have their tough units with those abilities on, all at 3 wounds a model. And if you've got a battle cannon that's flat 3 damage and you're bypassing the wound roll, you're auto wounding them when you roll 6s to hit, it's just going to put more pressure on your opponent and make them think twice about what units they want to put out in the open. So that's the first knight, and I think that's pretty cool. House Raven knight there. But in my opinion, the Free Blade one is better. So this is the best Free Blade that you can make, I reckon. And this is a cool way of doing it. What you do is you have to run a Free Blade Lance to get all these benefits, which is an army of renown in the new Charadon book. So your entire army would have to be a Free Blade Knight army. I think the way you would do it is you would take 3 big knights, sort of like Crusader style sized knights, and then 3 smaller ones, Armiger class knights. The reason that you want to do that is the special rule in this army of renown is that all of your character knights get 2 benefits. They get 2 benefits and only 1 burden. 2 qualities, I believe they're called. So you'll get double quality and only 1 burden, but it's only on your characters, and you can only duplicate them once you've taken every single quality. So what you want to do is you want 1 big knight, and you want to give him 2 qualities, And then your 3 smaller knights, you give them 3 of the qualities that you don't really value, don't really want the big knights to be taken. And then the second big knight can take the last quality and duplicate a good one. And then the third one can take whatever it wants. So you could have 3 big knights, all with great qualities on them, and then 3 smaller ones taking up the sort of filler ones that you didn't really need. So that's the first thing that you need to do. And if you do that, this is how you make the best knight. So the first thing is you take Sworn to a quest. That's the quality that you take. And that lets you reroll 1s to hit against the enemy warlord. Yeah, that's not that big. It only really comes into play if your opponent's warlord is also like a big titan or something like that, or Mortarian and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But what you're taking it for is that also gives the knight the objective secured ability. So if he's on an objective, he controls it regardless of how many enemy models are on there, unless they also have the objective secured. So now you're like, okay, it's nice having objective secured because it means little units can't just come over, like bikers can't come over really quick and go, oh, we've got 2 models on there because you're objective secured. But now, what if an infantry unit does it? What if like a guardsman unit comes over and takes it? Well, the second quality you give him is Mysterious Guardian. Now, the reason why you take this is because you're trying to make the best synergized knight overall. You don't want him to be good at this, a little bit at this, and a little bit of that. You want to have one knight that's, performs one purpose in your army. So you take Mysterious Guardian quality, and it allows him to heroically intervene 6 inches. So now an objective secured unit comes to try and take your objective off you, and you can heroically intervene into them, smack them, beat them up, and then it's your objective again. So, it's just all about playing the mission. And the reason why I think it's amazing to take your free blade in this way is that it's all about primaries at the moment in the game. And then what you do as well is you give them the warlord trait that's part of the free blade lance, which is echoes from the past. And what it lets you do is have a household tradition on that free blade warlord. And what you do is you take House Crast, because again, that synergizes with his other abilities, and it gives him reroll hits in combat if he charges, is charged, or performs a heroic intervention. So now you're sitting on objective. It is your objective. Somebody comes to try and take it off you, you heroically intervene into them. You get full rerolls to hit against them. You are going to annihilate the thing that's trying to take that objective off you, which is absolutely fantastic. And then what you do is, because that knight's going to be in your opponent's face, sort of like playing for these objectives and stuff, is the relics that you take aren't weapons. So, you take a Crusader, you give him the Thermal Lance, you give him a Gatling cannon, you give him a top hatch, load him out so that he does have options and he can shoot a lot of stuff. But then you make him really good in combat, able to take all these objectives. But he's going to be in your opponent's face. So what you can do is you can use the stratagem in the new Free Blade Lance detachment kind of thing, which lets you take 2 relics instead of 1 on this knight. And what you do is you take Armor of the Sainted Ion, so he's got a 2+ armor save. So all these, like any army that's got a load of shots that are like strength 5, strength 6, that can wound you on 5s and are -1 AP, you will still have 3 up saves against, which is insane. And then on top of that, you give him Sanctuary. So he's got a 5 up invulnerable save against ranged and melee attacks. Yes, he already has it against range, but what you're taking it for is the melee attacks. A big unit comes to strike you in combat, and if they're -1 or -2 AP, you don't really care because you've got that 4+ armor save, because you've got the 2-up armor save on the Armor of Sainted Ion, and that would go up to a 3 or 4+. But if somebody's -3 or better, you can then drop onto your Sanctuary and rotate Ion Shields for a 4+ invulnerable save. And it just protects you against melee threats on a knight that's going to be right in the middle of your opponent's army. So I think that's definitely the best free blade knight you can make. Well, that's what's working for me. If you guys have any combos for these new knights that you prefer, please leave them in the comments below for everyone to share. And until the next video, guys, I'll see you later.